Dear beautiful people, today I want to talk to you about the significance of deja vu and what it actually represents. Many of us had experiences where we would enter a situation, maybe a conversation, maybe you sit somewhere on a park bench, and for some reason you come into contact with someone or something that seems out of the ordinary, but you kind of feel you have already been there. Even though it's strange, it seems familiar. So, what is that feeling? Does it come from? Well, often I speak about intuition. And when I speak about intuition, I speak about a huge spectrum of abilities that we have, but we don't usually do not practice them or exercise them. When people have a meditation regimen, their intuition increases. That means their ability to pick up on extrasensory perception. That means perception that is not limited to the five senses increases. So when it comes to these situations of I've been here somehow, I have experienced this somehow, where does this come from? Well, for many of us, this is still difficult to understand because it's rather hazy, it's rather unclear, it's not as concrete yet. Some who have experiences where it becomes very concrete, where they can verify actual information, for them it's pretty clear that those intuitive feelings of I've been there actually have a reference point. But for those who do not have these abilities to verify the information directly, they're just left with this very mysterious feeling. Now, I can tell you from experience that when it comes to deja vu, that a lot of times it is related to memory. But since this memory is not necessarily located in the brain, it can come from previous incarnations. Deja vu simply means pay attention. It means pay attention because in a previous experience, in a previous incarnation, you might have had the opportunity to learn something. So a situation was arising where you could learn about love, you could learn about yourself, you could learn about creation, creativity, compassion, kindness, whatever it is. But for some reason, your deeper self felt there was an opportunity that you did not take full advantage of. So the lesson was partially missed. Now, in your current lifetime, in the present moment that you experience, when deja vu arises, it means pay attention because here is another chance. Here is another chance at realizing what you previously missed. And this is your clue to become very, very mindful, very observative, to sit, breathe, and really take in your environment. Look for clues. If you're talking to a person in that situation, listen very, very carefully and rather feel within you what it is about than trying to analyze it rationally. That means if you pay full attention, you have a beginner's mind in that moment, if you give up all conceptual ideas or biases, you have a chance of learning something that is very profound. But many miss those opportunities because they think, oh, this is just a fluke of the brain. This is just some glitch that should not occur, right? Or they think they have been imagining things. Their ego tells them that they're going crazy, so there's the voice in their head that says, "Oh, you have imagined this. You're not sane. You're seeing things that are not there." Well, of course, this is your inner resistance to the possibility that there is deeper intelligence at work and deeper connections involved than you could imagine. Be clear about that the ego lives of the illusion of separation, but we are very profoundly connected. There is a huge web of connections, the beings that you interacted with over time periods that you cannot even imagine. So there is a web in place that, if you will, that most experiences in your life are not in that sense random experiences. It's just because you do not have the information, or you do not have the background knowledge that you could, in a sense, realize the context in which they are occurring. You might think that they are random events, and these random events lead to you being a victim to the experience, but this is not the case. It's just you missing a layer of information. There's a dimension of knowledge that is elusive to you because you do not trust your intuition, first of all. And if you're not meditating, so you're not exercising your spiritual muscle, if you will, your ability to sense these interdimensional layers is limited. But I want to encourage you, when this happens, when you have this feeling, for example, let's say you are in a relationship and you end up in an argument and you think, this is strange, somehow I had this argument before. That means that there was probably an opportunity that previously you did not take to learn about love in a certain way, to expand your perspective, to expand your awareness on the matter. So, when these moments occur, these really strange feelings, this is so mysterious, but at the same time so familiar. Trust it. It is mysterious to your ego, but it's not mysterious to who you are. To who you are, it is familiar. But if you're trapped on the level of ego, you will see it as a foreign object that does not belong in this reality. This is not true. So instead, investigate, but do not investigate through an over intense form of skepticism. I'm not saying give up your ability to discern. This is not what I'm saying. But first of all, you need to be willing to experience, so later you can process that experience and understand it on a deeper level. But if you deny the experience altogether, you take away an opportunity to learn from yourself. So when these intuitive moments arise, try to trust them, try to explore, and see if you can figure it out. Contemplate about that. Be well.